Hey, what's good, Power People? This is the Power Living with Purpose podcast with David C. Henderson, and this is the Midweek Motivation. The Midweek Motivation is sponsored by the Power Living line at DCH Merch. That's the Power Living collection at dchmerch.com. All right, this Midweek Motivation is it's not how you start your career, it's how you finish it. So, from athletes, right now we got March Madness going on. And then you got the NBA getting ready to get into the playoffs and all of that. Baseball, I think, as well. I don't pay as much attention to baseball. But it's not about your rookie year as an athlete. It's not about it's not about your second year, your third year. It's about the longevity of your career. When you go to college and you graduate and you start your career, you start your job, or you start your business, it's not about what you do when you first get finished. It's not about those first few years, those first 5 years, those first 10 years. Anybody can be sweet just coming off, can be, just coming in hot, just fresh off of energy, and you made some connections, and you take it off like a rocket and all that stuff. What about when it gets to year number 10, 15, 20, 25? You've been in your career, you're in your 40s now, you're in your 50s. The people who are at the top of their game, the top of their companies, the top CEOs, the most successful business owners in their 50s may or may not have been the most successful people in their 20s. They may not have been the ones with the highest GPA in high school, the highest GPA in college, might not even graduated magna cum laude, summa cum laude, all of that. They might have just graduated thank you laude. But so it's not about how you start your career, whether it's about how you finish, whether it's an academic career, whether it's an athletic career. Then also look at acting. Look at actors. You got actors acting all the way into their 80s and 90s. Some of them, getting the best roles of their life in their 60s and 70s, not in their 20s and 30s. So it's not about how many movies and shows did you make in your 20s and 30s. It's about how many can you continue to make. Can you keep being a good actor in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s? Those are the actors that are going to go down in history as legendary, not the childhood prodigies who are in a few kiddie movies, or people who are in some movies in their 20s and 30s and stuff like that. No, it's the ones who've been able to do it for a lifetime. Same thing, and the same thing with athletes. It's not about the ones who got hot in their first few years in the league, or even in college. It's not about the ones who came in and were the best freshman of the year. It's about who became the best player over that college career, and did you what did you contribute to your team, and then were you able to take it to the next level? Were you able to win? So it's not about how you start your career. It's about how you finish. When you're ready to retire, when you're ready to hang up, when you're ready to hang it up and say, all right, guys, it's been great. It's been a great career. I'm ready to head off into the sunset. What level have you got to then? And you may not be where you want to be when you first get started, your first couple years, 5, 10, 15, in terms of a job or career, 5, 10, 15, not versus the year number 30, year number 35. You've been doing something for 40 years. Started when you're 20, now you're 60. You should be getting ready to ride off in the sunset, having accomplished all the stuff that you want to accomplish in that career. But when you still in your 20s and 30s, like, who cares if you're not on top of your game? You ain't even halfway done yet. You ain't finished. You got a long way to go. When you first getting started in your athletic career, who cares if you're not the best? You got a long way to go. If you stay in, if you continue to be in whatever league or that you're in, then you got room to improve. If you don't improve, now you will get cut. So athletics is not as good as you don't have as much longevity as just a regular job or career like that. But if you're in your 20s and 30s, even if you're 40s, like, if you're not on top of your game, you still got time. It's not over. So basically, just remember, it's not how you start your career, your job, your athletic career, all that stuff is about how you finish. When you get to the point where you're ready to hang it up and say, all right, it's been real, I'm ready to retire. What have you done at that point? If you're not even close to that point, just keep working because you got time. Okay, it froze up. So basically, remember, just like I said last week, when I said just forget about your age and just focus on continuing to grind. Like I said, with your career, it's not over until it's over. So it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. And this is the midweek motivation from the Power Living with Purpose podcast with David C. Henderson. And again, this segment is sponsored by dchmerch.com. That's dchmerch.com, the Power Living Collection on there. Everybody have a great, powerful, and blessed week. Stay powerful, my friends.